UITM, an economics major at Yale.
Four gentlemen, extraordinary in their own way.
The blogs were so read. Why? Because they were bringing to the audience things that were not available even on Malaysiakini. No holes barred kind of thing. Everything goes. But what happened to blogs today? You know? Okay, some people blame because politicians start blogging, so the whole thing, the politicians again, politicians kill.
There has to be support out there, even though it may not be a lot of people out there on the street, but at least there is a group of vocal Malaysians out there demanding that you should unban, say for instance, unban Malaysiakini, unban these straight lines. And to force the government to come to some kind of decision. I think that is what is most important, because at the end of the day, really, it's the public, it's you out there showing that look, we want and we demand press freedom, and otherwise the government does not have to listen. I mean, they haven't been listening for the past 50 years, and unless you guys demand for it, we're not going to be able to see PPPA being repeated at all. But for us here, and for me personally, I'll continue publishing. That's what Rocky said, publish and be done.
But these are my favorite journalists, the young ones who go in and say, yes, I'll become a reporter. I know people will disparage me and say, I don't read your paper is no good, but they still go in and work in the newspaper because, like it or not, and believe it or not, society needs them.
There's a whole rainbow range of media in Malaysia, right? What I think that doesn't exist is access to all this media. What we are offering you is a choice. You can read us, make an informed position, think one of us is wrong, think the other person is right. Right. This is what we are giving you. We are giving you a choice. We're not driving any agenda for you. As Zainul said, you can make an informed choice and decide what you want to do.
My question is open for anyone to answer, but I would like to refer to what Dr. Zainul said before about how you shouldn't undermine the capabilities of your 700,000 readers to make their own decisions at the end of the day on what you report. However, being a media student, I do know that editors are the ones who decide what goes in the newspaper in the first place. Isn't this also a form of deciding what your readers can and cannot accept? And isn't it also a form of deciding what and what is not worth reporting to the people? So that's one of the questions. And another one is, how then do you decide, or how do you gauge what's important and what's worth reporting? Thank you.
And I think also based on your own, the media agenda for Malaysiakini, if there is a traffic accident out there, we won't cover it. But if it's a traffic accident involving Sami Belu, perhaps it goes. So I mean, it will be. Yes, we are gatekeepers. I think, but I think, as I said, if you've got diversity of sources and all that. If there are news that Malaysiakini cannot cover because of the kind of human resources that we have, there will be other news outlets that will cover them. Or otherwise, they can rely on NSTP because they cover everything. So I guess you don't have to worry about that. But for us, what I need to take issue with Zainul is the fact, that in terms of Malaysiakini agenda, I think we are, from right from the beginning, we are non-partisan. Non-partisan meaning that we don't support any political parties. But that doesn't mean that we are apolitical. We take very, very strong stand on a lot of issues, and we don't hide them. Issues like good governance, issues like anti-corruption, issues like press freedom, issues like independence of judiciary, issues of human rights, all that we take very strong stand. So that is Malaysiakini, and our what news that we cover will be based on that, based on where we stand on all those issues.
What words of wisdom would you share with budding bloggers in among today's youth?
owners shouldn't have a say in journalism. Credibility of Urusan and Sinchu and whether they should be allowed to do what they do, I think it boils down to freedom of expression. Yes, they can. But if they tend to incite people, my question is why there seems to be double standards. No action is taken against them. Right? Some bloggers say something, it's sedition, it's ISA, but some newspaper editors say something and nothing happens to them. One reporter had to be detained at the ISA for her own protection, so that says a lot. Should we have self-regulation? Yes. But should laws like sedition and all work? Sedition is not a draconian law. It's just that nobody knows what sedition is. If you read the Sedition Act, it just says something of a seditious nature. It's just a self-fulfilling argument, you know. You're charged with sedition because you said something seditious. Okay, thank you very much. Should we have freedom of speech, the American style? Complete press freedom? I don't think there's complete press freedom in America. Publish and be damned, and a lot of people get damned. Repeal all these laws or specific changes to the press. Yeah, free market, man. Let the press do what they want to do, and if they do wrong, hold them up to court. Everyone's got a good lawyer. I think that the trick in Malaysia is that, having talked about media, a lot of people don't trust the judiciary.
But I would also suggest that for NSTP, for example, we are a listed company. If someone with enough money do not like us or do not like me, they can buy over the company and change the editorial board or policies. But that's it. That's the crux, the bottom line of the media. As much as we may be crusaders and we may be looking to improve society, at the end of the day, for example, Nat Graph has to close shop because the grant finished. And if, for example, any of us, our organization, do not attract enough subscribers or advertisers, we would have to, or have investors who are deep pocket enough, we will have to close shop. So at the end of the day, the losers, if any of us close shop, will be society. This brings me to the next point, which I suggest that if you believe so much in all these things, you should fight for it. If you believe in press freedom, you should fight for it. If you believe in repealing the Printing Presses Act, you should fight for it. We are professional. We are governed by the law. We have no, as much as you would think so, I don't have the right ear of the Home Minister or the Prime Minister to tell him to repeal the law. It is society at large that will determine the agenda of the country. If you don't like the messages sent by the government or don't like the messages sent by the opposition, you should inform whomever sending the message that this is society needs the media, more so a variety of media. Thank you very much.
With that, a special thanks to all of our respectful speakers, to Sugasini and to Jeremy. Thank you.